welcome to another episode of Presence Practice with Poonam and Parker. Hello, Poonam. How are you doing?
I'm good, Parker. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm right here. I'm here for it. Today's topic is true freedom. True freedom. What does it mean? So we'll look at it versus how it can be seen and is seen by a lot of people, and then what true freedom really is all about. Because really, essentially, all of these teachers, all of them are Eckhart Tolle, Adyashanti, Krishnamurti, all of them. It all comes down to showing the way to true freedom. The pointers are doorways to true freedom, found, of course, in the present moment. But let's look at some of these patterns and layers that keep us from true patterns in the coming weeks. But first, let's talk about how we've seen it. So chime in anytime, Poonam, on this one. But sometimes people are looking for anything outside of themselves that's going to offer them freedom. Drugs give them freedom from their thoughts sometimes, or freedom from despair or the quality of their thoughts. Same goes with alcohol, food. These things give a feeling of momentary comfort or a momentary high or a break from the money. Money is another big one, but you can be in your jail and make it fancy if you want. I think Eckhart said that too. Maybe you could be in your jail and you can make it pretty in there, but it's still a jail. So Adyashanti said something interesting also about so a lot of the seeking is like a correction, always correcting how people see us and view us, whether they like us or don't like us, and to allow people the freedom to love us or hate us, to see us this way or this way without correcting that. Then only when we give other people that freedom do we have that freedom. So, but it starts inside of ourselves, and that contraction, like the contraction of the heart, when judgment and attachment and identification come in, it tightens us up. And so our view looks like this. It could look like this, but it looks like this. And when we say we're seeing it all, when someone's yelling, I see, I know, but they're contracted, the whole space is filled. They don't recognize that there's vast space that can be offered to people, situations, all these things in this dream that we're floating along in. So true freedom is to deeply accept the present moment and what's in it, deeply accept the ride that we're in here, the body that we're caring for, that deeply accept whatever's happening in front of us, not the story of what's happening, the facts of what's happening in front of us, and just allow people to be without telling an additional story about it. And then you not just free yourself, you free you put freedom into the consciousness, the general consciousness, the collective consciousness. What do you say on the topic, Poonam?
I got reminded of there's another one of my favorite talks of Eckhart's called You're the Sky. And in there he says, nothing in the world of form will ever satisfy you. The world of form is meant to frustrate you until you realize that it's something along the lines of until you realize you're never going to get satisfaction from the external form. And once we come to that realization, the world of form is pleasant.
Yes. For people that are nervous or afraid in the world, it can be extra challenging because they've added the big story of their the dire circumstances or what could eventually happen. To have a deep realization of the insanity, the absolute insanity. Someone could do it all right. They could lock it all down and life will still happen. The perfect storm can occur. And true freedom is when we let life unfold. Let life unfold and leave people alone.
And what I feel is how much ever our mind may say something, what we should do is presence needs to arise, like to know of that, to leave the person alone, right? The mind cannot leave the person alone. The mind will continue with the self-talk in the head about that person. So my way of dealing with it is, yeah, my mind is saying something, but let me do my 2 hours of meditation. Let's see what presence says. Let me increase my presence power. And after that, how do I feel about that situation? And most of the time, how I feel about that situation is, it's okay, let it go. Like there's true detachment in it. There's no stickiness to it. The stickiness is of the mind, where the mind wants to bring, that lock, that the chain that you talk about, right? Like one thoughts creating emotions, emotions creating thought. And the moment we get to that pure presence, the whole thing is, presence needs to arise. The mind energy, when it's going through and bringing up self-talk about a life situation or a person, we have to wait until presence arises again. We have to increase our vibrational energy. So that's my antidote to any mind energy that I may have about work. Why is this happening this way? Or why is this not happening this way? To move into that state of acceptance, because the mind cannot move into a state of acceptance.
Yes. So even modern humanity, completely unconscious, does this. That's why people will say to somebody in a emotional state, give it a couple of days, give it a couple of weeks, right? Because the space from the crazy thought, right, they'll see it differently, because at some point they've given it that topic, situation, or person enough space. Now, oftentimes their mind went over here and was distracted with another concern or story that's going on, but still they gave this particular thing, and then you do see it very, very differently, or just disengage from it. I don't want to forget this Adyashanti quote here. The important thing is allowing the whole world to wake up. Part of allowing the whole world to wake up is recognizing that the whole world is free. Everybody is free to be as they are. Until the whole world is free to agree with you or disagree with you, until you have given the freedom to everyone to like you or not like you, to love you or hate you, to see things as you see them or to see things differently, until you have given the whole world its freedom, you'll never have your freedom. Adyashanti from the end of the world. Someone who I would love to see Eckhart do a talk with him. I think they're very much on the same energetic wavelength.
Beautiful.
Let's all be free and give that freedom and celebrate that it's happening without a big story. Just yay.